What's up, everybody? This is Old Gory Red Report. I'm Mark Anthony. This is Casey J. We're back with you for another edition. We're going to be talking a little bit today about the Phoenix game. So we'll do a little post-match on that. We'll also be looking ahead to this Wednesday's key matchup against Fresno. It will be a road game. So let's just jump into it. What'd you think of the performance from the boys on Saturday?
A 0-0 draw. I'm going to take the 1 point because that keeps us going. It keeps us some momentum. But I think we saw tired legs. It was a very flat performance, honestly, from both teams. Phoenix looked like they came to play for a draw. They never really seemed to go forward. We never really seemed to go forward. There's a lot of kind of balls over the top that didn't get collected. A lot of just bad giveaways in the midfield from both teams. The possession stats say it was pretty even. So for me, I just have to, the word of the game for me, I guess, is flat. I think it was a very, very poor game from both teams.
Yeah, I agree. It was a dud. I mean, there was a lot of expectations coming into this game. We have two teams who can score goals. We saw the first game between the two, 3-1, so there's 4 goals in that game. With only 16 attempted shots, 2 of which were on target. A missed penalty in the game. I mean, we have to be pretty honest here. It was a very disappointing performance from our team and just overall. And yeah, with that said, I mean, the possession was pretty even. There wasn't a lot of great interplay between the teams. I know that Republic, their formation, it kind of came out, I think, a little bit negative. What do you think about the players that were chosen for this game?
I like the back line. It was Gomez, Rodriguez, Tainter internally. And we've seen Tainter do good things this season. I think he's been a good player for us. And we've seen Gomez do it. It's good to see Rodriguez internally get a chance. And I think they were part of that, holding that Phoenix line. They do have some good attack. So I think those players did step up and do their job well. It just seemed like our offensive potential wasn't there this game like we used to. But we have gotten a few clean sheets, so I'm going to say my one big positive from this is the back line doing their job, getting a few clean sheets in the last few games, a good performance against the Sounders. So, a few good performances for them back-to-back, and seeing some of these other guys get the opportunity to come in and do it.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest takeaway you can take from this game is that our back line, again, played well, like you mentioned. We held a really good team, a really good attack, and we said coming into this game, they had multiple players on their team who scored goals. A very potent team, and to get a shutout is always a positive. Unfortunately, that was probably the only positive for the game. In my opinion, we had a 3-man midfield of Hall, Villarreal, and Moffitt. I think all three are better as holding players. So I think there was a disconnect between the defense to the offense. With only 8 shots, none of which on target, I think it kind of showed in the stats.
Yeah, and that's where we got bogged down a lot. It was trying to get the ball up to Iwasa, up to Nishaw. And when we did get the ball to them, they were kind of on an island of their own, playing their own game up there. There wasn't a lot of communication or contact with the back at all. So that was a big problem for us. A big talking point we have to go over is what's up with us in penalties this season. Hall did it, just a couple games ago, had a great penalty. Cool, confident, put it in the net. This one, a mile wide.
Yeah, he skied it. It's every penalty taker's worst nightmare. As a soccer player myself, I've been there. It's deflating, especially in a game where it was so tight, and right before halftime we get the opportunity. A questionable call, I will say. I think we got fortunate to win the penalty. Phoenix, they did their part in kind of wasting a little bit of time and getting into Hall's head, I will say. They knocked the ball away, and they stalled. So to their credit, I think they did enough to get in Hall's head. It is a very disappointing miss, and I think it kind of just laid out the rest of the game. We missed our chance to score, and that was the best opportunity for either team. It wasn't taken, and here we are.
Yeah, one of the players from the Phoenix put a voodoo curse. I saw him spit at the ball beforehand. There's none of that. But, except for that real chance, the only other highlights from this game was 5 yellow cards. So it was kind of that kind of game where there wasn't a whole lot to talk about. Hopefully both teams will just, move forward from here and do their thing. But this one just wasn't a good game for me.
Yeah, and like we said about in the post game on our Facebook Live, these are two teams that are going to be in the playoffs. Phoenix is a very quality team. They got a good result away from home. And even with the draw and it being a substandard game for us, and I think a boring game for us at home, we wish we had a little bit more. Getting 4 points in 2 games against a very good team is nothing to sneeze at. So moving forward, this week, we finally play the new USL Western Conference team, Fresno FC.
Yeah.
What do you think about Fresno so far? They're sitting in 11th place. They're 2-1 in their last 5 games. I think they're doing a little bit better than what they started off the season at. What do you expect coming forward to this game?
I mean, they started off slow, but they are a team with some good players. They have Kafka, I think his name is. He was with Tulsa Roughnecks, and we saw him play well.
Good player.
And he's their captain. They have some familiar names that we know, like Cazares, Channy, and Barrera down there. We know those players can do good things. So, I think they're a team that is on the rise. I think 11th place is probably where they deserve. They did start out really slow right now. But overall, they're doing really well. They're at 14, 3, and 7 total. So they have picked up some points recently. Like you said, they got a couple draws. They did get one good win. I think it was like a 4-0 thumping of Seattle or so a couple games back. So that'll give them some confidence. I think they're a good team. I don't think they're a great team. I think it's a team we can definitely go to and beat. Even with our tired legs, we should be able to get a result against them there. But they're a good team.
Yeah, they have one forward, Jamal Johnson. He's scored 6 goals for them. He is by far and away their most potent player, so look for him up top. I am a little bit curious about Barrera. He was such a number 10 for us, such a creative force in the middle, and for them, he has no goals, no assists on the year. Very surprising. I know that we don't get to catch all their games, but just looking up their numbers, he's second on the team in minutes played, so he's out there. He's playing every game, but the results haven't been there. I don't know if his role, if they're playing him a little bit deeper on this squad, and with their formation, they've changed their formation a few times. They've had different waves of results, so I still think they're figuring it out, being Definitely. A new club. With that said, I mean, they are also, you talked about yellow cards before. They're one of the top teams in the league in yellow cards. They have 30 on the year, which is a surprisingly high number.
A very aggressive number.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what to expect formation-wise. Maybe a 4-4-2 from them, maybe a 5-3-2 like they have played before. What are you thinking in terms of prediction? Do you have a prediction for this week?
I think it's going to be a win for us, definitely. I think we're going to go down there. Like you said, they have been playing like a 5-3-2. They did play that against Reno, and they got a 1-1 result there. Before that, they played a 4-4-2, and they have jumped around. So it's kind of hard to tell what they're going to do. But being at home, I think they're going to try to go for this game. I think so. That'll open it up. I think we'll go down there. I'm going to say a 1-0 win for us.
1-0? Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting game. I wonder, since I think we saw last game our tired legs show up, and I think that was kind of something that was in the back of our heads. So I actually think we might play around with the lineup this week. I think we do get the win, and I think that we hold solid with our back line again. I'm actually going to say 2-0. I think it won't be an easy game, I don't believe. I do think we'll see some different names in the lineup getting their chance, but I look for Rodriguez and Tainer to stifle the middle like they have been lately.
Yeah.
And then for us to score a couple goals.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll come out with pretty much the same back line that we kind of had this game against Phoenix. It was a good back line. I'm not sure where Seiler is quite in his injury recovery process yet, so we're not sure if he's going to come back. But I think, that's going to be what we go with. We will see some rotation up front. We've seen Bijev out, and we've seen a few other players not making it. Maybe we'll see Espino get a start and get some legs in. I'm not quite sure what Elliott's plan is. When we talked to him last, he wasn't really, he didn't really answer our questions on the rotation front, so not sure what he's doing there. But again, I think we can go there and get the 1-0 draw, or 1-0 result. Yeah,
I wonder if we'll see a similar formation to the Seattle game when we saw Horde out there on the right-hand side.
It worked.
Yeah. I was also a little surprised that we kind of changed, not the players, but the tactics, from the other night. So maybe we'll see, go back to maybe what worked in that Seattle game. That's what I'm expecting. I think it'll be a fun game. We do also have San Antonio on the road coming up on the weekend, which, 2 road games this week. It'll be important for us to get a couple results, hopefully at least get 2 points, hopefully get a win and a draw, and then shoot for the stars, maybe get 2 wins. But important week for us. Yeah. The West overall, the standings, if you look at it, I mean, we're still sitting right there in the 3rd or 4th spot, but there's only a couple points that separate all the playoff teams.
Yeah, definitely. And, Real Salt Lake has a bit of a lead on everybody, but it's still a lot of games left in the season and a lot to be said about that. For me, I think going into this game, it's just going to be key for us to keep getting these results because we're in the thick of our worst spell of games for the season. Once we get through this hectic month that we have of June, July and August kind of start to fade out and our games get a little spread for us. We'll have a little bit more rest. So if we can get through this run of results and get some points out of it and walk away still in good standing, I think that's going to say a lot for the rest of our season.
Yeah, and we just had a few home games, so upcoming we have Fresno on the road, San Antonio on the road. Then we do have our U.S. Open Cup match against LAFC.
June 17th to 20th.
June 16th, I believe they announced it, so it's Wednesday.
It June 16th?
And then we're back at home on the weekend on the 20th, I believe, against St. Louis. But we will, be covering those games. We'll also be doing a World Cup preview and predictions on our next show, so be on the lookout for that.
Should be entertaining.
Yeah, we will just botch the entire tournament, and you guys can tell us how dumb we are. Of course, please subscribe to our channel, our Facebook page. We're on Twitter. The subscribe button's down below. Mean a lot to us. Of course, we do the giveaways, free tickets, merchandise coming up. We will have an event coming up that we'll be talking about, at least one event. So it's pretty exciting stuff over here. But I think that's it for us, and hope to see you guys soon.
All right, guys. Peace.